But also it's good for the trees, because when they see me, they also release a hormone and they feel good. So it's a win-win for both parts.
Choose your hard, because being disciplined in training is hard, but being overweight is harder. Being good at saving money is hard, but struggling with paying your rent is a lot harder.
If you play it safe all your life, it's not gonna take you anywhere. You just have to risk something.
But then I switched it, because if that fear controls you, you're gonna stay in the same place and not even move.
Don't let they remember you like a little wimp who was scared and worried about everything.
Definitely. I believe in miracles, and I believe that GK is definitely a person that can be able to switch this for his benefit and learn how to walk again, for sure.
Welcome back again, ladies and gentlemen. Today's episode is about there is no tomorrow. You have the power to do many things in your life, but you don't have the power to decide that you'll get another day. So live today as if it is your last day. Go all in, be your best self, and bring the content from this episode into your daily mindset. In this episode, we share valuable perspectives and lessons. We guarantee that it will reward you with more peace, freedom, success, and happiness in your life.
And of course, this quote is from a famous movie, Rocky movie, when Apollo and Rocky is in the ring sparring. Apollo is beating Rocky up and is asking him, "What's the matter with you?" And Rocky is like, "We'll do it tomorrow." And Apollo goes, "No, there is no tomorrow." And this is very extreme. It's a sparring round. It's before a fight. It's very serious. But this is also very true for life, because you're not granted a tomorrow. So what are all of the things that you're postponing for tomorrow?
Yeah, we never know if tomorrow will come.
Mm-hmm.
So make the most out of your day today. Don't wait for things. And I think special about if you have said something not nice to people or you haven't made up with people, do it today. Made up and make everything good again. Because you never know what will happen tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe you will disappear. Maybe the person you have problem with will disappear or you was rude with. So make it up today, because there is no tomorrow.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. That is so true. And I think what you say is so important, because these are the things that you'll bring to your grave. If you have a trouble with someone and it has been unfair towards them, and you don't even try, you don't even put in the effort to make amends, it is very bad for you to bring this along with you. And also when it comes to discipline, letting this quote run your life will definitely get you there. Because when you live life black and white, like there is no tomorrow, you put in all the work today that you have to do today, that's when you really, really level up in life.
Absolutely.
Mm.
And discipline is self-love. It's absolutely. Because you set down, you find out what goals you have, and the best way to reach your goal is throughout discipline. You work day after day, and that's good with discipline. It doesn't matter if you want and not. You just have to do it. Because you say you're gonna do it, and then you do it.
Mm-hmm.
So discipline is the super key to get everything done in life.
Mm-hmm.
So you just have to train yourself to be disciplined, and then things will go smoothly.
Definitely. And actually, a few years ago, when I heard the word discipline, I thought about people in the army being very disciplined and strict and straight up and putting in all the work. But now, over the years, this word has changed a lot in my mind with its meaning. And as you say, it is about self-love. When you love yourself, you owe it to yourself to fulfill yourself and reach your goals. And you have to be disciplined to get yourself where you want to be.
Absolutely. And it's so great, yeah, when I are disciplined. Get so many things done every day, and things go by themselves, yeah, because I have trained up my mind. Oh, I gonna do this at this time, and I just do it.
Mm-hmm.
It's not question if I gonna do it or not. I just do it, not think.
Right, that's the thing. That's the magic behind it as well. Because as soon as it gets a routine, it's easy. It's a lot easier staying in shape than getting in shape. So if you always just stay in shape, it's an easy job to just show up at the gym every day because it's in your routine and you need it.
Yeah. And what every day with you, Annika, what is something that you use your discipline for to do daily routines?
Especially the prayers. It's never a question. It's never a question about missing one of the 5 daily prayers. That just, of course, I'll do it.
Okay, that's great.
How about you?
For me now, every morning, I switch up a little bit now. So the first thing I do every morning now, I actually walk outside and I walk a trip on 10 minutes. And then I come back and then I do my push-ups. And that's I do every day. And it's a great start on the day. And it's so good with this morning walk. Just go outside, feel the wind, feel the nature, go around in the neighborhood. And so that's non-negotiable. I just do it. Both of those things. And I feel so strong and fresh every morning after I walk my trip and after I take my push-ups. So that's, and my discipline do it. And I like it. But sometimes I wouldn't like to go out because it's raining. And sometimes I'm tired. I not want to take my push-ups, but I do it. And I feel so great. And the reward is so much better than the suffering and the pain.
Right, because what you do is that you invest 10 minutes. It's not that much, but the reward is tremendous. And we know for a fact that when you are outside, you live close to the ocean, it's nature around you, some trees, and it's a nice landscape. And we know for a fact that when you're out in the nature, the trees release a hormone that makes you very happy. So it is very great benefits from this. And as well as we talked about in the episode about improving sleep, when you get sunlight in your eyes within the first half an hour that you're awake, it also rewards you when the night comes and you're going to sleep.
Yeah, absolutely. When I walk outside and I see the tree like this, the hormone release inside me and I feel so good. But also it's good for the trees because when they see me, they also release a hormone and they feel good. So it's a win-win for both parts.
Yeah, but for a fact, we have to go out and appreciate what we see. I think everyone is rewarded. Oh, that is so true. And these small victories is so important. How do you start your day? What do you fuel your mind with? And how do you kind of map out your day? Because when you get home after a trip like that, I bet your energy is so high. So even if you woke up, you're tired, maybe you didn't want to start working on this business, these kind of things. But after a 10-minute trip, there's no question because you're already onto it. It's the same as if you don't want to go to the gym. As soon as you're there, of course you'll train. You won't sit in the gym and not train. So it's something about just get going, get started.
Absolutely. Create the momentum.
Right, that's it. And we also have to remember, I talk a lot about the black and white lifestyle because for me, it helps a lot. If I'm in the gray zone, it's a lot of chaos and I'm not so determined. And there's a lot of thoughts and chaos in a way. But if I live life to the fullest, to the black and white, and I cut out the things that's not good for me, and I do all the things that are good for me and that aligns with my goals, I am a lot more happy. And we have to remember that in life, every choice you make either brings you closer to your goals or further away. My brother always says this to me: you never stand still, you either move forward or you move backwards. So, what do you choose? Because life is extremely short. So, if you don't think of it this way, that every single choice you make is so important because it could be your last, but also it either brings you forward or it brings you backwards. So you have to be super reflected about all the small choices you make.
Absolutely. All the small thing, yeah. Little thing here, little thing there, yeah. Will absolutely create your life.
Definitely. And I think that in life, you just have to dig deep within yourself. Where do you want to go and what are your challenges? Because is there really any excuses big enough to not go for your dream?
I haven't found one yet.
Me neither, because you owe it to yourself to be happy. You owe it to yourself to fulfill your own goals and visions in life.
Absolutely. So It's so important to work to reach your goals, because your goals is important for you. It is something you actually want.
Mm-hmm.
So then you have to think a lot about them and work about them.
Mm-hmm.
And do it today, not wait for tomorrow, because you never know what's gonna happen tomorrow. Start
Mm-hmm.
today, do it now, fix it.
Definitely, there is no tomorrow. There is no excuse. There is no time.
I believe that, yeah, it's important in life. You have to be busy. You have to have a lot of things going on, yeah. So you not sit and not do nothing and get boring. It's
Mm-hmm.
great. You do a lot of things and you feel good, yeah, because you have achieved something and you work through a lot of things. And through disciplines, the freedoms comes.
Mm-hmm.
Because you will work hard to, for a long time to reach your goals, and after you will get your freedom with it,
Mm-hmm.
because that's your reward.
Mm-hmm. That is so true. And there's a quote that I find to be true in all aspects of life, and that is choose your hard. Because being disciplined in training is hard, but being overweight is harder. Being good at saving money is hard, but struggling with paying your rent is a lot harder. So you have to choose your hard, because if you just let things go and you don't even focus about it and you don't work for it, your problems will buckle up and get a lot more problematic for you.
Yeah, that was smart thinking.
Mhm.
Everything gonna be hard, yeah, but choose the right hard, yeah, that was a smart one.
Right? Because what have you done now the last year? You quit your job, you made a huge decision, and people are like, why did you do that? You quit your job, you sold your apartment, you left safety. But why did you do it? Isn't this hard?
Yeah, absolutely, it's absolutely hard,
Mhm.
but it's more fulfilling. And
Mhm.
it's, I believe that it take me to the right way on the life, to the
Mhm.
life I would like to live. So yeah, it's absolutely hard, but it's worth it, because this is the life I would like to live. So it's
Right.
so you have to do it. If you play it safe all your life, it's not gonna take you anywhere. You
Mhm.
just have to risk some things.
Definitely. Because this is hard. There's a lot of challenges with being free, being your own CEO, running your own life, not having a boss, only running your own business. But it's also hard putting in 40 hours a week at a job that isn't your passion, because we have to think there is no tomorrow. So if you have a job for people work in the same job for 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, and if you don't really like it, why did you spend so much time on it? So isn't it better to struggle and have it hard in another way, but you're happy every day? When you call me, you're very happy. You sit at your office, you do what you like. There is stress, there are worries, but you handle it so well because you want this hard instead of the other hard.
Absolutely. Great way to think about it.
Mhm. I think you have to map out all of your goals. You have to know where you're going, how to get there, and then you have to put a deadline on all of your goals. Because if your goal is to become the UFC featherweight champion of the world, but you have no plan, no deadline, other people will join you in this race and they will train 2 times a day, 3 times a day, every single day to get there. So if you haven't really mapped out how to get there, it's very hard to achieve it.
Yeah, that's absolutely great to put a deadline on it, because you create pressure. You have to work harder to reach your goals. So that's a
Mhm.
great way to do it.
Mhm.
And to start things in life, if you're gonna want to do something new, you just have to use the power of decisions. If you find out what you really would like in your life, work prepared for it, and then you just decide, okay, I gotta do it now, and then you go for it, because
Mhm.
it's so much power in your decisions.
Mhm. Right. What can we say to people that struggle with it though? Because many people have ambitions, but then there is a gap between ambition and going for it. And I meet a lot of people that say, I ask, yeah, are you happy about your job? And they're like, yeah, it's a job.
Hmm.
And I'm like, yeah, do you want to stay in this job? And they're like, no, I would like to go for something else. And I'm like, yeah, have you put in any applications? And they're like, no. And then I think, what is the gap? Why is it a gap between that you want to do something and to actually send in those applications. It would take maybe an hour to create a good file, tell them your ambitions and all of these things. So why do you think people struggle with this gap? And what can we say to kind of take that step?
Yeah, it's a great question. I believe it's two things.
Mm-hmm.
It's fear and laziness.
Mm-hmm.
Those two things.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of fear because maybe people are in a job they don't like so much, but they at least know what they have. They would like to try something else, but they are they are scared of the unknown. So I think, and I scare about what people will say today, and friends and family if they change something. And I think they also lazy. Oh, this gonna take some effort of me. I have to work a little bit to fix this, and it's gonna be some changes in my life. A little bit more stress for a time, and people just, oh, okay, I not want to work hard a little bit more to fix it. So I believe that laziness and fear. What do you think?
I think you're very right. I think that those two things are extremely powerful. And when I was young, I was actually thinking a lot about this because I was scared for the darkness for a while. And what did I do? Then I went for many walks out in the dark every single evening because I thought to myself, this cannot control me. Because for a while I would like avoid going to people in the evening because I had to walk back home. But then I switched it because if that fear controls you, you're going to stay in the same place and not even move. And the same thing with being scared of heights. I feel this very fear right before I will jump into the water, from a very high up there. But then I have to do it over and over again. I remember you and me and your daughter did it when you came and visited me up in my city. Because if you let these kind of things control you, you lose. What things do you give power to in your life? And fear of the unknown, the same walk in the daylight is not scary because you see what's there. But in the evening, you don't see what's there. And then you just have to trust yourself and trust that things will go fine. So you cannot avoid going out for a walk when it's dark. So I think that you have to push yourself. You have to work on your fears because if not, it controls you. And if you are in an uncomfortable place, for example, at a work you don't like, but being there, at least you know what you don't like, so you don't even dare to take the step and try something new, then I think you owe yourself more. You owe yourself to try something else and find a better job. Because if you go and just give and give and give, your job doesn't give you any reward. You just give to other people, to your boss, to your organization, and you don't get anything back. Then you are a bit empty coming home, taking care of your children. Maybe you're a bit grumpy or moody or these kind of things. So you have to find a work that aligns with your passion because you have to get charged by all of the things that you do. And that's what I'm trying to do these days. All of the things that take a lot of my battery without giving me anything back, I try to just cut it out because it's not worth it. I want to have a full battery and I want to give my best to the people around me. And therefore, you have to make some choices. You have to burn some bridges and you have to build some new ones to find out how to save your energy and give it to yourself and your loved ones.
Yeah, absolutely. And life not just happen. You create it. You create
Mm-hmm.
your life. And about the story you told, yeah, about you was scared to walk out in the nighttime because of the dark. You handle it the best way you can do it. Yeah, you just faced your fear.
Mm-hmm.
And this remind me of a great quote: "The magic you are looking for is in the work that you are avoiding."
Mm-hmm.
And the magic you was searching for here was that you would like to not be scared at the nighttime, and you actually did face it. You didn't avoid it, and then you not became scared anymore. And that was so great work of you. And this is about everything, yeah. You just have to face it and do it many times, get in the reps, and you will become good and not scared anymore.
Mm-hmm. That is so true. That is a great one. And running from your problems is a race that you'll never win. You cannot do that, and you cannot let your problems control you.
But if you are the fastest man in the world, you think him can do it?
Not even him.
Not
Not a
even him.
chance.
Okay.
Not
Okay.
a chance. And I think that all of your problems, they will catch up to you sooner or later, because what goes around comes around. If you don't deal with things, they will sneak up on you.
Yeah. So just face it.
Mhm.
And you only have one life, so why go around and be scared and worry? You just have to decide, no, I'm not going to be scared and worry anymore. You're going to work about it every day.
Mhm.
You build up your tolerance, you put more stress on you, you do more scary things, more tough things, and you grown and you not became scared.
Mhm.
Because this is your life, this is your story, this is your book. And think about how you are in life and how you impact others.
Mhm.
And how will people, children and people close to you, remember you.
Mhm.
Don't let they remember you like a little wimp who was scared and worried about everything. You have to be
Mhm.
tougher. You owe it to yourself and everyone around you. You can do it. And I think about something. In Norway, we look at a television series. Team Pulsa is a great series about six kids that is disabled. They have a lot of different problems. One girl have only a half heart, and two of the person they cannot walk because they have problem with their foot, and someone have a problem with how to handle their feelings. Another man, another boy was blind, and he also have dementia for children,
Yeah.
only 12 years old, and they have a lot of challenge those young children, and then they make a TV series about it in Norway. There they gonna walk when it's a world championship in skiing in Norway. They're gonna walk, and they are training about that, and it's so many things they do. They have to climb down mountains. They have to push each other and help each other walk on the trips when it's snow on skiing. They have to do so many tasks, and it's amazing to see how many things they can do because they are scared. But when you push, they have to try to do something, and they push each other. They back up each other, and it's so many more things they achieve than they thought was possible, and also we. So that's just show how much more everyone in the life can do than they believe they can, and those children was so inspiring. And also the man who was boss and inspire them and learn anything. He did a great job with motivating them. So it's a amazing series. I can recommend everyone to watch.
Definitely, that was an incredible show, and the leader, he has an incredible power to see all of the people in the group and to put them together as pairs in this team, so that one person helps the blind boy, for example, or the one that sits in a wheelchair. Someone has to push him. Who does this task, and how does he support them? So this is amazing, and it for sure puts things in perspective. We have a good health, and I think a lot about Geir Kåre Nyland, GK, as well. I've listened to some podcasts about him lately, but also watched his TV series Fighter, which is going viral in Norway now and will be made international. And he was in a diving accident, an MMA fighter, extremely good fighter, was in a diving accident and became paralyzed from his chest and down. And his identity was movement. Everything that he did was through movement. He couldn't walk through a park without going on his hands or jumping in a tree or these kind of things, And all of a sudden he couldn't do anything of it. So now he's battling to start to learn how to walk again, even though the doctor says that you cannot. You have a kind of injury that is not possible to start walking again. But he is stubborn, luckily. He's very determined. He's an extremely inspiring guy. And his life teaches us a lot of things as well, because we have a good health. We wake up every day with two functioning legs, a functioning heart, functioning eyes, and some of us, we waste it on things that is not worth it. We don't reach our full potential that we want. And of course, being an MMA pro fighter isn't for everyone, or being a professional skier isn't for everyone. But you have to dig deep within yourself. What are your goals? And do you have the ability to reach it? Then go for it, because people out there have so many goals and they can't because they're being bombed or they're being paralyzed or they became blind, unfortunately. These kind of things. So we cannot take our health for granted. We cannot take our life for granted. And we cannot take for granted that we have time because we are not granted a tomorrow. None of us are.
Absolutely. Yeah, he's a real fighter, and still him sit in the wheelchair now, and him training so much, in inspiring, crush it in business, him work very hard, and he's a real inspiring person. So, and I really hope and believe in the future he will find a way to walk again. I hope so.
Definitely. I believe in miracles, and I believe that GK is definitely a person that can be able to switch this for his benefit and learn how to walk again for sure.
Absolutely.
But now I want to direct the attention to you, listeners, because what would you cancel today if you knew there would be no tomorrow? What would you cancel today of your plans if you knew there would be no tomorrow? And I just want to remind you that you have to hustle 101 miles per hour towards your goal because that is the speed, that is the way, and that is the only way. If not, you might lose track of it.
That's the way to do it. So, and another thing I would like to ask the listeners: do you take things for granted? Are you grateful when you wake up every day that you are here? I would like you to reflect about this one also.
And I want to share with you a quote that I shared from before from my friend Ale that I trained with at AKA in Thailand. He's a fighter as well, and he told me that you should live your life as if you live forever, in according to saving money, taking care of your loved ones, all of these things. Think of it in the long run. But you should practice your faith as if you die tomorrow, because you have to do that so properly. And that was a really good one. And I also want to share a quote with you that I read the other day from Real Lily J on Instagram. She's a Muslim too, and she wrote about prayer. And I, of course, think that this is extremely important, but you can think of it in your life. So what she writes is that, imagine this. You wake up and someone drops $24,000 into your account. You can spend it however you like. Travel, food, whatever. But there's one rule. You have to invest 1,000 into a high interest trust fund. Would you take the deal? Would you?
Me?
Yeah,
Of course.
of course.
That's a great deal.
It's a great deal. It's a great deal. And that's what she writes as well. Of course you would. Now, let's draw the lines. 24,000 is like 24 hours in a day. And 1,000 is like 1 hour spent in prayer. So that 1 hour, it's not lost, but it's saved. And it multiplies for eternity. Plus, you didn't even earn the 24 hours. They were a gift. So tell me, giving 1 hour back to the one who gave you everything, is that really too much? Or is it the best deal of your life? And for me, I pray the 5 daily prayers as well as some additional, and as well as duas, like asking for things. And my brother, he's a Christian. He have told us several times that he pray every day, and he thanks God a lot for the things he is grateful for. And if you don't do these things, how can you expect to get more in return? Because if you take your life for granted as well, how can you expect that the creator will give you more things? So these are things that we haven't talked a lot about in the podcast, but it's extremely important to mention when the topic is so important as it is today. There is no tomorrow. So don't take today as for granted, and don't take your life for granted either.
Yeah, it's a great saying. And I know that a lot of older people, became more religious when they became older. And maybe they start to think more about that, and that they would like to try to get a place in the heaven. But I will absolutely recommend everyone start when you're young, because you never know when the life is over, and you became a much better person. So just start early. You don't need to wait to become old, become a Christian or Muslim or Buddhist, and start now. And you will absolutely become a much better person, because all of those religion, it's a lot of great rules you have to live after.
Definitely. And religion often also teaches us about charity, giving back to the people that needs it. And that is also very important, because when you give, you will get more back in return as well. So don't forget to be helpful and create value for other people and give charity. It is very important.
Absolutely. Maybe you give a little bit, and it's not much for you, but it can be a lot for other people, what they received. In life, do not let fear stop you. Be tougher, go for your goals, live your life on your own terms, and get the most out of your life, because you only have one. And every day, your time decrease on this earth.
That is for sure. That is the only thing that is for certain. Other than that, we don't know that much. But do you fear death, Joakim?
I do not fear that, but I just don't want to die. So I not fear that. I try to be a good person to everyone around me, a good human being. I pray, I live my beliefs, and I try to be a good person. And hopefully, when this life is over, I will go to heaven, and I'm not scared to die now. But I not want, now. I want to live a long, long life, and hopefully I will become 110 years old. That's my goal. But I'm not worried now. If it happened, it happened. And I know I did my best on this earth, and I have been a good impact on people around me. So I'm not scared. What about you, Annika?
I think that's beautiful to hear, and I'm very happy to hear it, because that is something that we cannot control. We don't have power over that. And I don't fear dying, but I fear not living life in the right way and not living. That's what I fear. So I try to do my best every single day to live my life right and to give back to others, to give back to our creator, and to do what is right, to do what is fair for people, you know?
Yeah.
And I hope that this episode creates reflection in all of our listeners, that you don't fear things. You give to charity, you help a friend out, you are brave, and you send the text, you ask that question, you do the things that are hindering you. Because as we mentioned, the magic is in the work you're avoiding. Wasn't that what you said, Joakim?
Yes, that's correct.
Right. So if you're looking for something, magic or success, what are you avoiding? Because that is what's hindering you to get there.
Absolutely. That's the price you have to pay.
Mm-hmm.
So, to the listeners, what do you want out of your life? Ask yourself that. Reflect about it. And in many different areas, find out what you really would like to do in your life. Write it down and go for it. You're not too old. You're not too bad health. You can do it. Just start to work, and you will improve on all your areas.
And it's very good what you say there. Write it down, because it has to be so black and white. It cannot be uncertain. You have to know for a fact what is your goals, where is the road that will lead you to it. Map it out. Be extremely honest to yourself and dig deep within yourself to where you want to go, how you'll get there, who will help you get there, who is hindering you to get there. All of these things, you have to be honest with yourself, because you cannot just sit and life is a tornado around you and you just go with the flow. This day the wind blows you here and the other day it blows you here. No, you are in charge. You have to take charge of your own life. Step out of this tornado, because you don't have to be a part of it. Other people create a tornado in your life sometimes. Society creates a tornado, other people, many things, worries, all of these things. So you have to step out, take charge of your own thoughts, and be stoic. Listen to the stoic episode again. I'll have to do it again this week because sometimes I go back to the episodes that we had just to repeat, because that was an extremely important lesson to be more stoic. Don't be in this tornado, but take a step out and think for yourself, because you have all the answers. They are within you.
And if you would like to donate a small amount to this podcast, it's having great, so we can keep growing the show, get out the message to as many people as possible. This episode was recorded April 10th, 2025. In the show note, you will find link to our homepage, the 101percentpodcast.com, where you can subscribe to our free weekly newsletter, donate to our podcast, and all the information about subscription you need. We share for you, and remember, there's no tomorrow. Take care and give it your best. If you like this episode, please share it with a friend. It is important for us to get out our message so we can help as many people as possible. And we will highly appreciate it if you could take 1 minute of your time to follow us on social media and review the show on Apple Podcast and Spotify. All links are below. Our Instagram is the 101% podcast. Until next time, take care and go 101% into achieving your goals. You owe it to yourself.